What happens when America's sharpest late-night host goes head-to-head with royalty gone rogue? You won't believe what unfolds when Stephen Colbert decides he's had enough of Prince Harry's victim narrative and delivers the reality check nobody saw coming. Last night's explosive confrontation left audiences stunned, and one royal storming off set in a fit of rage. Before we get into this incredible story, make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below, because you're not going to believe what unfolds. The tension was palpable from the moment Prince Harry walked onto the Late Show stage. What started as seemingly friendly banter quickly transformed into something far more sinister. Colbert, known for his razor-sharp wit, appeared unusually serious as Harry settled into the guest chair, fidgeting with his hands in a way that suggested he knew this wasn't going to be the softball interview he was expecting. "So, Harry," Colbert began, his trademark grin noticeably absent, "you've been making quite the rounds lately, haven't you? Netflix deals, tell-all books, podcast after podcast. At what point does sharing your truth become exploiting your family's pain for profit?" The question hung in the air like a loaded weapon. Harry's face immediately hardened, his jaw clenching as he leaned back in his chair. "I think that's a rather unfair characterization, Stephen. I'm simply telling my side of the story after years of being silenced." "Silenced?" Colbert's eyebrows shot up incredulously. "You've given more interviews in the past 2 years than most politicians during election season. If this is what silence looks like, I'd hate to see what happens when you really start talking." The audience shifted uncomfortably as Harry's composure began to crack. His voice took on a defensive edge that viewers rarely heard from the usually polished prince. "You don't understand the pressure I was under, the impossible situation my family put me in." But Colbert wasn't backing down, and what happened next would change everything. Colbert leaned forward, his voice cutting through the studio like ice. "Let's talk about your grandmother, Harry. The Queen spent 70 years serving her country without complaint, and within months of her death, you're on television trashing the institution she dedicated her life to. How do you reconcile that?" The color drained from Harry's face. His hands gripped the armrests of his chair so tightly his knuckles turned white. "That's completely out of line, Stephen. My grandmother understood my position better than anyone." "Did she?" Colbert shot back, pulling out a folder from his desk. "Because, according to multiple sources, she was devastated by your public attacks on the family. She died worrying about the damage you were doing to the monarchy she spent decades building." The audience gasped audibly as Harry bolted upright in his chair. "You have no right to speak about my grandmother that way. You don't know what you're talking about." "I know enough," Colbert replied coldly, flipping through papers with theatrical precision. "I know that while she was battling health issues, you were busy filming Netflix documentaries, painting your family as villains. I know that while she was trying to hold the Commonwealth together, you were in California, giving interviews about how trapped you felt in palaces." Harry's voice cracked with emotion, but there was anger burning behind his eyes. "She supported my decision to leave. She understood that I had to protect my family." "Protect them from what, exactly?" Colbert's tone turned mocking. "Free housing? Unlimited resources? A platform to make a difference in the world? Poor you, Harry. Must have been so difficult being a prince." The room fell deadly silent as Harry stood up, his chest heaving. What came next would shock everyone watching. "How dare you!" Harry's voice exploded through the studio, his royal composure completely shattered. "You sit here in your comfortable chair making jokes about my life, my family, my dead grandmother, and you think that's entertainment?" Colbert remained eerily calm, which only seemed to infuriate Harry more. "I think honesty is entertainment, Harry. Something you might want to try sometime, instead of this endless pity party you've been throwing for yourself." "Pity party?" Harry's laugh was bitter and harsh. "My mother was killed by the same press you're feeding into right now. The same system that destroyed her is coming for my wife and children, and you're mocking me for trying to protect them." Your mother would be ashamed, Colbert said quietly. And those 4 words hit like a nuclear bomb. Harry went ballistic. Don't you ever speak about my mother. You know nothing about what she went through, what I've been through. You're just another American opportunist, making money off royal drama. The prince began yanking off his microphone with shaking hands, his face flushed with rage. This interview is over. You can take your smug superiority and shove it. Security started moving toward the stage as Harry threw his mic pack down with a loud crash. Enjoy your ratings boost, Stephen. Hope it was worth destroying whatever credibility you had left. The only thing getting destroyed here is your reputation, Colbert called after him as Harry stormed toward the exit. But I guess you're used to that by now. Harry spun around one last time, pointing an accusatory finger at the host. You're everything that's wrong with America. Fake, cruel, and desperate for attention. No wonder your country is falling apart. With that final devastating blow, Prince Harry disappeared behind the studio curtains, leaving a stunned audience, a satisfied Stephen Colbert, and one of the most explosive talk show moments in television history.